To understand why that night was the final straw, you have to look at the fabric of my entire life. My name is Clara. I'm 31 years old. In my family, my older sister, Lauren, was the golden child. Lauren was loud, pageant pretty, and always knew how to demand the spotlight. My parents adored her. If Lauren got a B in school, it was praised. If Lauren bought a new handbag, my mother bragged to the neighbors. I was the opposite. Quiet, analytical, and self-sufficient. I didn't ask for expensive clothes or flashy birthday parties. I studied hard, earned a degree in biomedical research, and spent my 20s quietly building a career. Because I didn't demand attention, my family treated me like an extra in the movie of their lives. When I bought my first condo at 26, my parents didn't come to the housewarming. They said Lauren's dog was feeling anxious, so they had to stay home. When I received a national award for my research, my mother interrupted my announcement at Sunday dinner to talk about Lauren's new haircut. I spent decades trying to earn a seat at my own family's table. I paid for my parents' anniversary gifts, I organized family dinners, and I always showed up when they needed help. I kept believing the lie that every neglected child tells themselves, if I just accomplish one more thing, if I am just a little bit better, they will finally love me. 3 months before the anniversary party, my parents asked me to organize the event. Clara, you're so good with details, my mother had said over the phone, her voice dripping with artificial warmth. Lauren is just so busy with her social life. Can you handle the venue, the catering, and the invitations? I swallowed my pride and said yes. I spent 12 weeks coordinating with vendors, designing the floral arrangements, and managing the $30,000 budget, $10,000 of which I paid out of my own pocket as a gift to them. The night of the party arrived. The ballroom was stunning. Warm gold lighting, white roses, elegant jazz music. Everything was perfect. Lauren arrived 30 minutes late, wearing an extravagant red gown, acting as if she had personally built the venue with her own hands. My parents paraded her around the room, introducing her to every doctor, judge, and business partner in attendance. I was standing near the back, wearing a simple navy dress, quietly ensuring the catering staff was running on schedule. Around 8:15 p.m., my father took the stage for his speech. He praised my mother, spoke about their journey, and then motioned for my mother to take the microphone. I want to thank the person who made this night possible, my mother announced into the mic, her eyes scanning the crowd. My heart did a tiny, foolish flutter. For a brief second, I thought, this is it. She's actually going to acknowledge me. I want to thank my beautiful daughter, Lauren. My mother beamed. Lauren spent countless hours making sure this room looked like a fairy tale. Lauren, you are the light of our lives, our greatest pride, and the anchor of this family. We don't know what we would do without you. The room clapped. Lauren bowed gracefully, accepting the credit without hesitation. I stood in the corner, frozen. But it didn't end there. My mother wasn't done speaking. And of course, my mother continued, her tone shifting from admiration to a light, dismissive chuckle. We have Clara in the back. Clara, come out of the shadows, dear. A few people turned to look at me. My face burned. We always joke that Clara was our little accident. My mother laughed into the microphone. The sound echoed off the high ceilings. While Lauren was bringing home trophies and making friends, Clara was always off in her own world, being odd and distant. We used to worry she'd end up alone forever, but look at her tonight, managing the waitstaff like a natural. Some people are born to shine, and some people are born to stay in the background and clean up. We love you anyway, Clara. The room went dead, suffocatingly quiet. It wasn't a playful roast. It was a public execution disguised as family humor. A few older relatives shifted uncomfortably. A family friend sitting near the stage looked at my mother in complete shock. Lauren giggled into her napkin. My father stood next to my mother, smiling broadly, completely unbothered. I looked at my mother's face through the crowd. She was staring right at me. She wasn't oblivious. She knew exactly what she had said. It was a power move, a deliberate reminder to keep me in my place. I didn't cry. I didn't gasp. I felt a strange, icy sensation spread through my chest, not sadness, but an absolute, permanent detachment. I looked at the people who were supposed to protect me, and for the first time in 31 years, I saw them clearly. They weren't my family. They were just people who shared my DNA and used my heart as a doormat. I slowly placed my glass on the table. I didn't say goodbye to anyone. I didn't march up to the stage. I turned my back on the ballroom, pushed open the double doors, and walked out into the cool night air. I drove straight to my condo. When I walked through my front door, I didn't break down. I opened my laptop, sat at my desk, and began the process of erasing myself from their world. I didn't make a dramatic social media post. I didn't send a long, furious text message detailing my pain. Drama gives toxic people fuel. Silence deprives them of oxygen. First, I opened my phone settings. I didn't just block their numbers. I changed my phone number entirely through my carrier portal. Second, I cancelled the shared credit card I had set up for my mother's emergency expenses. Third, I called the event coordinator at the venue. Since the final venue payment of $10,000 was on my personal card and the event was officially over, I instructed my bank to dispute the charge based on the breach of contract regarding the event management services I had provided without compensation. Fourth, I deleted my social media accounts, all of them. And finally, I did something I had been planning for months. I accepted a senior research position at a laboratory in Seattle, Washington, 3,000 miles away. My start date was in 2 weeks. The next morning, my parents and sister tried to reach out, probably to ask why I left early or to demand that I clean up the remaining event logistics. Their calls failed to go through. They sent emails. I created a filter that automatically routed any email containing their names straight to the trash folder, unread. When my mother drove to my condo on Monday afternoon, the front desk security informed her that I had already put my unit up for sale and moved out. I became a ghost. 6 months passed. I was living in a bright, beautiful apartment overlooking the Puget Sound in Seattle. My new job was fulfilling. My colleagues respected me, and my mind was quieter than it had ever been in my entire life. One afternoon, I ran into my cousin Sarah, who was visiting Seattle for a conference. We sat down for coffee. Sarah looked at me like she was seeing a phantom. "Clara," Sarah whispered, "your mom has been losing her mind for 6 months. She's been telling everyone you went missing or had a mental breakdown." I took a sip of my tea and smiled gently. "I didn't break down, Sarah. I just left." Sarah lowered her voice. "After you walked out of that party, people were disgusted by what your mum said. 2 of your father's business associates actually left the party early because of it. And when the venue bill came due, your parents had to pay $10,000 out of pocket because your card was cancelled. Lauren tried to plan your dad's birthday last month, and it was a complete disaster. They realized real fast who was actually holding everything together." I listened to Sarah speak, but strangely, I didn't feel a surge of malicious joy. I didn't feel happy that they struggled. I felt absolutely nothing, and that was the greatest victory of all. They thought they were punishing me by keeping me in the background. They didn't realize that the background was where the strength was. Once the background walks away, the whole picture falls apart. It's been 2 years now. I haven't spoken a single word to my mother, my father, or my sister. Sometimes people tell me that family is forever, or that life is too short to hold grudges. But I am not holding a grudge. My hands are completely empty. I simply chose to stop standing in rooms where my presence was tolerated instead of celebrated. If you are sitting in a room right now where you are constantly made to feel small, quiet, or unimportant, listen to me carefully. You do not have to scream to make them hear you. You do not have to fight to prove your worth. Sometimes, the most powerful statement you can ever make is to simply pack your things, walk out the door, and let them talk to the empty space where you used to stand. Thank you so much for listening to my story today. If you've ever had to quietly step away from toxic people to save yourself, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more stories, and always protect your peace. Until next time, stay strong and know your worth.